Ringo Starr, born Richard Starkey on July 7, 1940, in Liverpool's working-class district of Dingle, rose from a life of illness and hardship to become one of the most beloved figures in music history. As a child, he endured long hospital stays battling peritonitis and tuberculosis, but it was during those lonely days that he discovered his love for rhythm, drumming on tables and bedpans, unknowingly shaping his destiny. Before fame, Ringo worked ordinary jobs, but his heart belonged to music. He joined local skiffle bands and eventually became the drummer for Rory Storm and the Hurricanes, one of Liverpool's leading groups. Then, in 1962, destiny knocked. The Beatles dismissed Pete Best, and Ringo joined John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison. His steady rhythm and warm personality completed the lineup that would redefine music forever. Though often seen as the quiet Beatle, Ringo's drumming on songs like Ticket to Ride, Rain, and A Day in the Life became essential to the Beatles' sound, while his vocals on With a Little Help from My Friends and Yellow Submarine captured his charm and humor. When the Beatles broke up in 1970, Ringo refused to fade away. His solo career flourished with albums like Ringo, 1973, featuring hits Photograph and You're 16. He acted in films like Caveman and The Magic Christian, and even voiced the beloved series Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, winning over a new generation. Decades later, he continued touring with his all-star band, spreading his message of peace and love, a phrase that became synonymous with his identity. In 2018, Queen Elizabeth II knighted him, a long-overdue honor for the man who helped shape modern pop culture. Ringo's personal life was as eventful as his career. His first marriage to Maureen Cox, a Liverpool hairdresser, began in the height of Beatlemania in 1965. Despite the chaos of fame, their bond was real. She loved him for who he was, not his fame. They had 3 children, including Zach Starkey, who went on to become a celebrated drummer himself. But fame, distance, and Ringo's struggles with alcohol took a toll, and their marriage ended in 1975. Maureen's death in 1994 from leukemia devastated Ringo. She remained one of the most genuine people he had ever known. Then came Barbara Bach, an actress and former Bond girl, whom he met on the set of Caveman in 1980. Their instant connection led to marriage the following year, and Barbara played a vital role in helping Ringo achieve sobriety. Together, they've built a peaceful life devoted to love, philanthropy, and the causes closest to their hearts. But not all of Ringo's relationships were as harmonious. Among the Beatles, he shared deep respect for George Harrison. Yet behind the camaraderie lay resentment and pain. Ringo once admitted he harbored more anger toward George than anyone else in his life. Though they were bandmates and brothers in music, tension simmered beneath the surface. George sometimes made Ringo feel like an outsider, as if he'd joined too late to truly belong. During the Let It Be sessions, frustration peaked, and Ringo often felt invisible amid the growing egos and creative clashes. Yet, the deepest wound came later when Ringo learned that George had a brief affair with his wife Maureen. For Ringo, it wasn't just about betrayal. It was about losing trust in someone he saw as family. "I hated him for what he did," Ringo once said. "It stayed with me for a long, long time." George's casual response, "All things must pass," only deepened the hurt. For months, Ringo avoided George, and even when they spoke again, the friendship felt strained. But time and reflection softened Ringo's heart. Years later, when George fell ill with cancer, Ringo visited him, setting aside old pain. "I told him I loved him," he recalled. "After everything, love was stronger than hate." When George passed away in 2001, Ringo spoke through tears, calling him his brother. "I might have hated him once," he said, "but I never stopped loving him." In the end, Ringo Starr's story is one of resilience, forgiveness, and enduring humanity. From a sickly child in Liverpool to a knighted legend of music, He has lived a life filled with rhythm, laughter, heartbreak, and redemption. His journey with George Harrison stands as a testament to how even the deepest wounds can heal, and that in the end, love always finds its way back, beating steady like a drum.